The only person who can stop you from achieving your goals, your objectives in life is you.
A titan, a powerful figure who stands out for greatness of achievement. Meet the giants in the Titans journey in the Ministry of Sport and Community Development's Community Sport Titan Series, a component of the SHAPE program. Introducing Sports Titan Gerard Franklyn of Plymouth, Tobago. Hailed for his pursuits in athletics, he is a dedicated youth leader, educator and coach.
I grew up in the village of Masonhall, and prior to the formation of Zenith Athletic Club, I used to run in a village sports they had every year at Easter time. And I think you all should know this guy, Prince Unique, the Calypsonian, Jeffrey Thomas from Masonhall. He and I and another guy, Winston Harrell, who is now deceased, formed a club called Stars and Stripes. So that was my introduction to track and field. Added to which, I had a bigger brother who was an athlete, official athlete. So I used to go and look at him run and so forth. And I used to participate in the running in the village. So it was easy transition for me, yeah. Well, the actual formation of Zenith Athletic Club was a blessing to Tobago. And there used to be Western Springfield. That was a club in the west of Tobago there. And when I went to college, 77 to 79, and I came back home, I saw the need to start the development of track and field in Tobago for a number of reasons. And one of the reasons would have been, to improve the quality of this art of running, jumping, throwing in Tobago. And that was one of the things that I realized the school system was suffering, because by job I was a teacher. And I saw the weakness, so I started coaching the school team, and the school team started doing very well. And from there, it was extended to the Tobago team, which is the overall team that would go to Trinidad to compete. And we saw a very significant difference in the performance of Tobago from then. We actually won a couple of times, and the lowest we would come is second. That's from the intervention. The club, Zenith, started in Masonhall, but then we realized, looking at the school system, there are a number of athletes we saw who were doing well, so we started approaching them, and then we moved to Shaw Park, which is in Scarborough, so it would have been more centralized. So there is how we came about moving more into the community. So we had a situation where we helped the specific schools will also call us, and the Tobago primary and secondary teams, we did a lot of work with them prior to going to Trinidad for the national competitions and so on. Well, I think Tobago generally has one major weakness that affects everybody. Now, facilities in Tobago has clearly been improved. But we have been calling for certain things in the communities, like gyms for strength training and so on. If even it's just putting it in zones, like in the east, west, north, central. As a start, we have like training centers, and you set up the centers in such a way that football, everybody could benefit from it, because strength training is across the board in all sports. What I think, while there is some funding and some support, I think the specific is where the problem lies. Coaches development is another area we have to look at. You see, talent identification is one of the areas that we really lacking, not only in Tobago, but in Trinidad and Tobago. We cannot continue to just look for a child who wins in a sport. We have to start developing people based on their body type and so on. You will find the throwers, you will find the runners, you will find the jumpers. And some may need more help than others because nutrition is important, care in terms of rehab and care in terms of sustaining healthy bodies and so forth. Those are some of the areas I think we have a lack in Tobago. To be honest with you, sports is a way of life. And if you look at throughout the world, sports is a career to some people. It's a lifestyle, it's a business. Sports cuts across every single strata of life, and one of the main things is healthy lifestyles. So we know that obesity and some of these type of diseases that people suffer from is because they don't participate in any type of sports, whether it's leisure or otherwise. They just don't participate. So, and you know, I think you know that where the world is right now, everyone is more into the, right? So that has its way of keeping people more sedentary than active, and that is bad. Everybody is different. And one of the things I want to advise is we have to set our personal goals. And in saying setting your personal goals, I want to say this. There will be pain in sports. And one of the things we have to look at is we have a choice, and choice is a big thing in life. We have a choice between suffering the pain of discipline, or we can suffer the pain of regret. That is serious advice I'm giving. Okay? So while you're setting your own personal goals, you have to be self-motivated. You can't be carrying anybody else's agenda. That is the point. Because a lot of people's agenda can take you a number of places, but it does not take you to where you're supposed to be because you're following the wrong crowd. You have to improve, you have to achieve, and you have to succeed. Failure is a disappointment, but for me, failure is something that speaks to developing alternatives. You should gain strength off of your failures. So don't look at failure as a bad thing, really, right? Why did I fail? What have I to improve? How could I change the situation if that is the case? You follow? The only person who can stop you from achieving your goals, your objectives in life is you. So I have a process where I'm going to advise everybody, all the coaches, all the athletes, I tell them, keep personal records. Every time you do, record it. The times, the throws, the heights, the distances, record it and date it. So that when the time comes, the information is readily available.
The Community Sport Titan series is brought to you by the Ministry of Sport and Community Development. Remember to like, follow and share the Titans Journey on social media.